Welcome back to Risque Business News. I'm your host, Laura.
And I'm May.
And we've got a little hodgepodge episode today with a couple disparate topics. We're going to be talking about a viral trend a la the Tide Pod Challenge taking over Korea.
Really?
Yes.
Finally, someone else is stupid, not just Americans.
Oh, don't worry. We're still more stupid. I almost said stupider, which would have been chef's kiss right there. That was close. Then we're also going to talk about the first human trials for Elon Musk's Neuralink have kicked off.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear
We are stupider in that case.
Where's the money? I don't understand how you make money.
Hold on.
From that, though.
2 stand-up comics in New York City.
Just learned a lot of this stuff. I'm going to ask all the stupid questions that you might be thinking at home, but are afraid to ask people.
Making it to where you feel like you're too stupid to be able to ever engage in it, they win.
Why the fuck are they doing this?
It's to make money. It's Risque Business News.
Wow.
Yep. Talking about a bunch of idiots across the board here. Maybe we'll start with my favorite one, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. Are we allowed to call him an idiot? I think he wouldn't mind. Shane Gillis.
Well, you know what? He's a lovable idiot. That's
He's
kind of
like
his thing.
the fucking funny. I think he's one of the funniest ones.
Yeah, he's like half an R word. He'd say that himself.
Yes,
I think.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. That's one of his big bits.
He really that bit is so fucking funny. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, watch Shane Gillis's special. He calls himself Downsy, I think, and he makes this face, and I'm like, wow. Yeah, you should get checked by a neurologist.
It is good, clean, old-fashioned fun. He
so
also
great.
has a lot of special needs fans, and it's truly
does?
yes.
Oh, that's
you want to
funny.
ask me how I know?
How do
Because
you
I
know?
had him on one of my shows before, and I didn't realize that was an interesting experience. And they are drinkers. Let me tell you that.
What?
They crush beers.
So
it was amazing.
The only thing I know about people with Down syndrome or whatever is that they're like extremely horny, I guess, and
Yeah.
they crush Bud Lights. Were they supporting him in that way too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
I don't know about the horniness. I thank God was not involved in any
They're
of that.
very horny.
I'm sure they are, but thankfully I didn't get exposure, at least in this one isolated incident. Maybe one day, baby. Not yet though.
Oh my god.
We had Shane on an episode on one of my shows, and it was like, advertised ahead, obviously sold out right away. And one of his fans specifically came solo, got there super fucking early, sat in the very front, like very clearly disabled, and drank 20 beers.
No.
I'm not kidding. Like, all of them were sitting in front of him. He was by himself. He is cranking through them, like, quick.
Could he like stand?
He barely could stand to head.
Oh my God.
And that was like, he was so disruptive to the show the whole time. But he also, like, obviously everyone's very, kind. Obviously we're going to be normal to this guy, but he's like a blacked out special needs guy. So he's extremely disruptive to every single comic who is on the show.
Holy fuck, dude.
It was one of my favorite comedy memories I've had to this date. So then afterwards, Shane goes up and he goes, of course, is my fucking fan right here.
That's
it was
so funny.
perfect. It was gorgeous. The guy couldn't have been happier. It was really great. And he did a bunch of stories about how he volunteers with the Special Olympics and stuff like that.
Oh my
Shane
god, that's
does.
so funny.
I mean, he's an unbelievable comic. And the guy was
Yeah.
like having the best time of his life. Now Shane gets off the stage. The guy decides he is done with the show. No more fucking show. Hops up, runs out. This is back in COVID time, so we're sitting outside. There's heat lamps everywhere. Knocks a heat lamp over.
Oh my
as
God.
He is exiting.
He goes full R word.
He went full R word. Full blacked out R word.
Damn.
It was so, thank God no one got hurt. Nothing happened, because it's genuinely one of my treasured memories.
That's
is
crazy.
Having to like sprint after this guy and pull a heat lamp back up and just be like, oh my God.
Holy shit, that is fucking insane. I just had a thought I maybe should not say out loud, but I'm just gonna ask
Go
it.
for it.
Is it legal for a fully mentally abled person to have sex with a not fully mentally abled person?
Oh
I
my
guess.
God.
I mean, because it doesn't really. I don't see why not, because if you're of consenting age, but at the same time, like, if your mental age is that of like an 8-year-old or something,
Yeah.
how does that work? It's kind of like some gray area in terms of ethics. I think in terms of law, it's fine.
I think, yeah, I agree with you. I think that it's one of those things where it's like morally you should be able to, you need to make a call on like if this is
Right.
kosher or not.
Yeah.
But I actually don't know if there's any like real laws that apply towards it.
Kind of interesting. Something to
Very
think
interesting. And also I'm torn on even if there should be laws because it's one of those things where it's so difficult to grade.
Well, and everyone's, mental capacity is different. So you could also argue like Mark's smarter than me, or I'm, you know what I mean? So I'm like,
I mean, Matthew's way smarter than I am.
Yeah.
So am I legally not allowed to have sex with him? I also
he's taking advantage of you. You are the R word in this situation. Before we forget, also, we wanted to just give a special shout out.
I'm sorry, we do want to do the shout outs, but
yeah.
really quick, the reason we brought up Shane Gillis.
Oh, yeah.
We just go, Shane Gillis, R words, and then move on from the topic. He, if you don't know who that is, he's the guy who got canceled.
He got
4
fired
or 5 years ago.
Yeah, he was hired
6 years ago.
Something like that. No, not that long ago. I would say like 4 years ago, something like that. But anyway, he was hired by SNL to be on the show. And then he has a really funny podcast. I think it's #1, the podcast right now. He's absolutely crushing it.
Crushing it at
Could
the
not
moment.
be doing better.
Yeah.
But
a lot of
anyway,
R words out there.
the podcast had said at one point, like he was like imitating an Asian person on the podcast. It was within the context of a joke. It was like taken out of context and put on blast on social media, and people did what they do. And
he used the C word, or I guess the CH word.
Oh, okay.
You can't really call it the C word, right?
I see what you're saying. And then anyway, so he got fired from SNL, and it was kind of fucking bullshit, but also like it felt weird to like argue against it at the time as well. But
I think it was also in the onset of the time where people were very, very militant about that kind of stuff. So it was a little bit novel. And I think he was one of the first real examples of the entire situation.
And it was like a very clear cut, like he was hired and then fired, where like other people, I hate this argument, by the way, when people will be like, oh, Louis was fine, he's a millionaire. And I'm like, that does not mean he's fine. Like people don't understand that if you're ostracized from society, it doesn't matter if you live in a fucking ivory tower.
The impact is a little bit beyond just like monetary.
Exactly.
We have a lot of reasons for living.
Yes, but
you capitalist pigs.
But this was a clear cut. Like he was like, this is cancellation at its finest.
Yeah. No, it was like I think probably one of the most like open and shut cases of got canceled. But the return arc has been fascinating because last week or a couple days ago, actually I think it was last night.
Yeah.
They announced that he is going to be the host of Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
In a couple weeks.
Let's
so it's just
fucking go.
This beautiful, beginning to end, snake eating its tail situation.
Yeah.
He's getting his comeuppance. A lot of special needs people will be tuning into SNL, so that'll be exciting. He also, this is unrelated but kind of feels related, got picked to be one of the more recent influencers for Bud Light.
Yes.
He's doing an ad campaign for Bud Light.
Yes. Mark had a funny joke about that, actually. He put it on Twitter. He goes from trans to trans fat, and then had a photo of Shane Gillis. He's not that fat, but you get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty funny. But wow. I mean, I'm going to tune in for the first time since 2005, maybe?
Absolutely going to watch that episode because he's absolutely fantastic. It's also funny because everyone goes like, oh, this right-leaning, comic. He's not.
No, he's not. He's the nicest guy in the world. It's actually...
And also, like, not that... I mean, he's liberal. He's openly liberal.
Right. Well, and it's funny to me that... for those of you that aren't familiar with, like, you don't know comedians or something like this, the people that seem the meanest on stage are usually the nicest off stage, and vice versa. If someone is a clean comic, the chances of them being like a psychopath are really high. Yeah. The one exception to that, so I hear, I've never met him, is maybe Jeselnik. He might be kind of mean in person.
Yeah. I've heard that as well.
That's it. Yeah, no, but I mean, I'm so happy for him. Like, what a fucking comeback story. I mean, awesome. That monologue is going to be epic.
It's going to be so good. And I think that I think the SNL cast now and writers now can see the jokes behind them canceling him out the gate. So I'm kind of interested to see their take on the whole thing too.
Yeah, I know.
I think they're going to take it on the chin pretty well. Just being like, oh wow, you're like the #1 comic right now. And we're fucking idiots.
But it's going to remind me of when Norm Macdonald got fired from Weekend Update and he came back and did the monologue and he called the show not funny. And it was the best monologue ever. You should look it up on YouTube if you don't know it after you listen to this podcast.
Yes, after you give us 5 stars, which is a great segue into
Yes.
our next topic, which is thank you to
Gretel and Caleb.
Greta and Caleb.
Greta, oh my God, Gretel and Caleb is what I just said. Greta and Caleb, thank you so much. Also, happy birthday, Greta.
Oh, happy birthday, Greta.
It's her birthday. Her 50th birthday.
Happy 50th birthday, Greta. Well, they listened all the way to the end of our last episode where we threw in there that if you leave us a 5-star review and send us a little evidence of that, we'll send you a great gift. And now we get to make it a birthday gift too. Oh my God. So guys, if you are a listener of this podcast, or even if you are brand new, just take it on faith and go hit that 5 stars, smash it, shoot it over to us you can either DM it to us on Instagram, or we have a little form that we'll try to remember to link in here to fill out.
Yeah. And
we'll send you a little surprise.
Yeah. We'll send it to you. If you DM us too, then we'll send you a little link, and then we'll give you something. We haven't figured out what it is.
It's gonna be cool though. We're pretty trendy. We're pretty on it.
Yeah. And it'll come in the next month.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I will say that it's not gonna be like overnight. We're not fucking Amazon. Okay.
We're trying our best.
This is not Prime over here, but it'll come.
There will be something in your mailbox, and it's going to be fun. And we really appreciate it. So thank you to Greta and Caleb. Shout out to you guys. You guys are
rock
stars. The OGs.
Starting a trend.
Great.
Anything else before I hop into these really incredibly important stories?
No. I'm just trying to think about what else I want to say about Shane. I don't know. I'm really looking forward to it. I think that's it.
I think we should definitely revisit it too once it actually happens.
There's going to be so much fake news around it. I hate to sound like Donald Trump, but it's completely true. Like, I think there's already been a little bit of fake news where, what's his name? Bowen Yang or whatever. He was like, there was a photo that he looked like when they announced that that Shane was going to be hosting, that there was like the whole cast and then he was like off to the side. And there
wasn't that when he was from the Chappelle thing?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry. No, it was a Chappelle thing where they said that he was like boycotting Chappelle or whatever. And then if you watch the video, it's literally he just hadn't walked over there yet.
Oh, he was just on his way. He's like, stop action.
And they made it seem like he was taking a stance against Chappelle, and it wasn't true. And so I feel like with Shane Gillis, it's just ripe for that.
Oh,
There's going to be tons of fake news around it.
And do you think that the timing with the Bud Light thing is a little planned? Because the 1-2 punch of that was it's quite the comment. And then obviously if you're not familiar, if you've been literally under a rock, you know that Bud Light right now is really leaning towards more right-leaning audiences because they've had massive declines in sales from the Dylan Mulvaney sponsorship that they did.
Well,
don't know what to tell you. It's just
I feel like Dylan Mulvaney too. I mean, I'm not exactly her audience, I wouldn't say, but I feel like she has been declining in popularity in general. Like, I don't really hear quite as much about her as I used to.
I haven't seen her around, but I agree with you. I'm not like I don't think I'm frequenting the same spaces, you know?
Could you imagine if she comes out just in 2 years and she's just like the most masculine man ever?
I know. We're like, damn. Yeah, she goes, she looks, I mean, honestly, she's kind of crushing it right now. She looks like she has Ozempic face.
I'm sure she's on Ozempic. She's skinny as hell.
She's so skinny.
Yeah. By the way, this is not sponsored, but I bought a placebo today I'm really excited about. It's called Super Gut. Have you heard of this?
No, what is that?
So I was in my like placebo grocery store. It's literally a grocery store called Pop-Up Grocers in the West Village. And they just have all these placebos that you see on the internet, but in person.
Yeah, it's any ad that you've gotten on Instagram, that product will be there. Yeah. I walked around and I was like, wow, this is a lot of bullshit in here.
I bought it. You know me, I fucking love a placebo. But anyway, it's essentially just like a fiber pack. So you would add it to like a soup or a coffee or whatever. And like, it just makes you feel more full and also makes you like, it's like it's like 15 calories or something. And it makes you like shit.
Okay.
So I'm taking a laxative now.
Can I tell the audience about my concerns with you?
Yes.
Okay, so guys, I want to tell you, I'm being influenced right now to get my friends screened for colon cancer.
That's how much I diarrhea.
It's truly a really niche part of TikTok where they are so concerned about, I have a normal bowel for the most part, right?
Yeah.
But my friends tell me frequently about how they don't, and sometimes there's unusualness with their stool. So now on TikTok, I am getting served so many ads about how microplastics are causing an increase in colon cancer in people like of millennials and younger, or people who've had exposure over their age. And I've been on this campaign to get May screened for colon cancer, and she won't do it.
Just so that you can get off that TikTok.
I need to get off this TikTok.
Yeah.
I need to know that your butthole is cancer free so I can move on to watching makeup videos again. Okay.
Well, here's what, without getting too graphic, I had some issues with my butthole, and
ask me about them, because I know.
and then so I went to a gastroenterologist, and they were like, okay, so it's not hemorrhoids. And I was like, okay. And they were like, we'll see you later. I was like,
We're not done. It's
then
like
what the fuck is it?
you keep going to these fake doctors.
I do. They won't tell me what's wrong with Greg. Like, they, first of all, remember when I got
They're also like, still not hemorrhoids. You're like, he has a rash on his ear.
Yeah.
I didn't ask about
Also,
that.
dude, like, when I got my thyroid taken out, my doctor ghosted me for 2 weeks. Remember that? I was like trying to get in touch with him, and he was not responding to me. And then he canceled our Zoom meeting. I was like, yeah.
Your butthole totally has cancer. I think we need to take you out of state to get your butthole checked. If anyone is a doctor who
Yeah.
listens to this pod and wants to screen May's butthole, wow, that's a whole other conversation.
I'll show whole. I don't care.
Yeah. What if you were on OnlyFans and someone was like, that actually looks like you might have,
Oh my God, that would be crazy.
gets diagnosed on OnlyFans?
I think I got to get like a camera up there, though, which is crazy because Mark can't even get a pinky up there. So
Yeah.
God bless.
Oh, wow. You should.
I know.
That's good
I wish my
content.
vagina was as tight as my butthole.
That would
can
be
cut that out.
that would
That's
be
gross.
that would be tough.
That would be tough.
Tiniest tampons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's a really good segue into, things that might cause digestive issues. Korea is having an issue right now. The South Korean government, not North, though this is giving North Korea, is asking its citizens to stop participating in a viral trend where they deep fry and eat green toothpicks. Yeah,
Why would they do such a thing?
exactly. You have plenty of food. I was just there. It's great. Eat your Korean barbecue. Eat your bibimbap. Eat that. It's great. It's good for your gut health, too.
So what are they doing?
They are frying. So it's like the toothpicks that they have, you can see in this image here. They're like cute and green. To be fair, it kind of does look like tiny little spaghetti noodles. I'm like trying to justify it for them.
Yeah.
Like, that's a fair point.
Yeah, and Tide Pods look like candy.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, they do.
They look like Gushers. They look like what Gushers should be.
Oh my God, remember Gushers? Whoa.
Gushers were awesome.
Yeah,
Gushers
they were so
are
good.
still awesome. I can't believe that I, as a 32-year-old, don't eat Gushers anymore, because
Yeah.
8-year-old me would be furious.
Oh, yeah.
You have all this opportunity. They're right there. You have money. Go buy the Gushers and eat them. This is all we wanted.
Remember Jawbreakers?
Yeah, those
I
were
liked
great.
those because they lasted a really long time, and they were such a choking hazard. It's like not even funny.
They were like designed to choke you.
I would just be
They were
like-
the optimal choking size.
I would literally be like playing youth soccer with a fucking huge ass rock in my mouth, basically. And I'm just running and jumping and like running into girls. Like, it's ridiculous.
Your mouth is bright blue because
Yeah.
you get through the different levels is the different colors.
Dude, the 90s were a different time. My parents
Yeah.
were like, yeah, go eat this fucking.
There is a 0% shot those are still available on the market.
There's probably a huge lawsuit.
Probably. There's probably some class action lawsuit I can get part of.
Oh, for sure.
That's been another one of my favorite things to do recently is sign up for class action lawsuits. And I got money from one recently.
Are you serious? What is it? What's the.
What did I get money from? I don't even know why I was wronged, but I was wronged by, I feel like it was like Netflix or something. Like I got overcharged back in the day.
Huh.
They're random. You can find them. There's like a TikTok person who tells you where to go and sign up, and I got a check for
No
like
way.
$15.
Okay.
Treat yourself.
Yeah, treat yourself.
These
You
little
get,
side hustles, guys.
get like 2 coffees.
yeah,
plus
maybe
tip.
3 depending on where you're going. If
Yeah.
you're going out of state, you can get 4 to 5.
Yeah.
This is a good deal.
So
guys
do
should
they
be-
taste good, or like it's just purely for like a stupid?
I think it's
Prank
just.
or
I think it's
something?
for their social media. People have been posting these
Wow.
videos, and then they look like these like little. To be fair, when you fry them up, they do look like little curly fries. Or
I mean, they look delicious.
Yeah.
But they're obviously wood.
well, actually, here is where I'm all of a sudden starting to side with the South Korean people who are frying up these little little sticks.
Okay.
These toothpicks are different than the ones that we have over here in America. Ours are classically made of like pieces of splintered wood. Theirs are made of starch, which is a really fair and normal. That makes so much sense.
So they're frying potatoes and they're eating the fucking potatoes.
basically.
Whatever.
They're not the wooden ones often used in the U.S., but
What the hell is the government mad about then?
yeah. Well,
Let them live.
They said that they are not verified as safe to eat. Starch toothpicks are not an edible product. Their safety as food has not been verified. Please do not eat. They don't. While they meet the country's standard as a hygiene product, they don't necessarily have the
Interesting.
a correct labels or whatever.
This reminds me of because I'm like, in America we would be like, great, starch, who cares, whatever, like we're moving on, we're gonna eat this, who cares, we're gonna deep fry this fucking Oreo, and like
I know, I was looking up fried stuff and I was like, we've really jumped off the deep end with that.
I have to look up this guy's name because I'm blanking on it right now, but there was a show in France where this guy would try to like teach kids nutrition, and he would be like, do you guys want chicken, or do you want like, coq au vin or whatever the fuck they're offering over there? And they would be like, no, we want chicken nuggets. And he'd say, okay. And he would like put like gizzards and all this like nasty ass shit into a blender, blend it up, and then like form the chicken nuggets. And they were all like, no, thank you. We'll have the chicken, because they're French.
Uh-huh.
And then they tried to do the same concept in America. And like that same exact scenario played out. And all the kids were like, dino nuggies.
Oh
and
no,
and
we're
so
so dumb.
And so like the guy was like, okay, I don't know if this concept's going to work, because the kids in America are not like disgusted by the processed foods in the way that the French kids were.
We will eat anything. We will eat anything. Literally.
Oh, we don't care.
We do not care. As
We
long
eat,
as
like,
it's
pigs.
shaped like a dino, we're going to eat it. Okay. That's our primary standard.
Dino nuggies. My sister says all the time, she's like, people think that like when you're a mom, it's hard to lose weight, which it is for like hormonal reasons and all this shit. She's like, that's a part of it. But she's like, also like, I'm eating fucking chicken. When the hell would I have a chicken nugget in my adult life? But she's like, if I'm making my kids chicken nuggets and mac and cheese, you better believe I'm gonna have a bite or two.
Of course.
And then next thing you know, I'm having like a full ass meal of Annie's mac and cheese and stuff like every few days.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I could not tell you the last time I had Annie's mac and cheese. I actually looked into it though. So obviously our answer to South Korea's very normal frying up sweet potato starch sticks that they call toothpicks, you're picking your teeth with French fries. Sorry, South Korea. I don't know what to tell you. Meanwhile, we over here with the Tide Pods, I did a little reflection. I walked down memory lane. This was really the height of American culture.
Did anybody die from the Tide Pods?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they did.
My gosh, that is so horrible.
First, I want to tell you, first of all, the first person one of the people who commented from our government on the appeal of the pods was U.S. Senator Chuck Schumer, when he said these pods were supposed to make household chores easier, not tempt our children to swallow harmful chemicals. I saw one on my staffer's desk and I wanted to eat it. U.S. Senator Chuck Schumer, wanted to eat that Tide Pod.
Okay.
Our government is just like, listen, we fucking get it. Meanwhile, the South Korean government's like, don't fry that sweet potato fry.
Right. Don't. Yeah, right? And we're like, oh, I would chow down on that Tide Pod.
I mean, of course our kids are going to eat the Tide Pods. Why would they not?
Can I tell you something too? Tide Pods, I kind of have some like janky ass washer machines in my basement, which I haven't been able to use since the fucking gas was been out in my goddamn apartment building. Whatever. Anyway, but the Tide Pods do not wash clothes as well as just the liquid detergent in my experience.
I actually do agree with you on that, because the other day I was pulling my laundry out and at the back of it I had this little clump and I was like, what is this? And I was like, oh, that is an undissolved piece of laundry detergent from the Tide Pod.
Yeah. It only gets to like a few pieces of clothes. It doesn't like dissolve all the way. Like, I don't know. It's not working for me.
Well, you better switch back to liquid. You heard it here first.
Yeah,
also,
well,
your kids won't die, because between 2012 and 2013, poison control centers reported over 7,000 cases of young children eating them, and an ingestion of the laundry pods resulted in 6 deaths by 2017.
Oh my God. That is that is so horrific, obviously for very obvious reasons. But could you imagine being like, this person died because they were participating in a social media trend and eating Tide Pods? Like, that freaking sucks.
I mean, that is embarrassing and tragic.
Have you heard of these? There was it was going around TikTok for a little while, and maybe it was dangerous in a different way, but there was like these like hottest chips that you could get? You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
So like people would order these like wicked fucking hot chips. And they had some like, and people were like losing their minds. Like it was like some crazy hot chip.
I feel like I saw, was that the original version with the two girls who are dressed all sexy in these bikinis? And then they start eating, I don't know what they were eating, but maybe it was chips.
Oh, I don't
and this
know.
is like a classic internet video where the girl starts eating it.
I'm like two girls, one cup.
Yeah, and then she poops. No,
Yeah.
it's so hot that they start crying and their faces swell and they look horrible. And they're like sobbing, freaking out, full fire alarm. Like their parents are trying to get them help. They're chasing them around with the camera. Like it's really funny. Like it's really
I don't know. I
They're
haven't
fine.
seen
They
it.
ended up being fine. But it was one of those things where it was just like the going from just being like, yeah, like we're hot and we're gonna have reactions, like in bikinis, like all wet and stuff. And then they're just like throwing, one of the girls throws up, I
Oh,
believe, at one
shit.
point. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
disgusting.
Oh my God.
Great video.
Wait,
Check it out.
That reminds me of the funniest things. My mom and my sister were here this weekend and we went to this like uptown restaurant that I would typically never go to. It was like some fancy ass Greek restaurant. My mom was pissed actually because I didn't realize how expensive it was because I don't go uptown for dinner.
Yeah, uptown is randomly expensive for no reason.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It was like literal. I'm not exaggerating. It'd be like, oh, this piece of fish costs like genuinely like $48. My mom was like,
Why?
what the hell? It was outrageously expensive. It was ridiculous. For the three of us, I think the bill was like $400. It was something. It was crazy. It was like
Wow.
nauseating. Anyway,
And also not for like a scene.
no,
I'm
not-
assuming.
I mean, well, we got a scene.
Okay,
we
well.
got dinner and a show.
Okay,
because-
there you go.
So the table next to us, this guy just all of a sudden faints, falls off his seat, and like because the place is so fancy, they like didn't want to make a big scene of it. So like the waiter is just like snapping.
We got
at
a
people.
fainter.
And I was like, dude, you like we were like, should we like call 911? And like they were just like so calm and fancy. And then the other three people at his table were just eating and drinking wine while he was laying on the floor. And some like and some guy comes over and he's like, I am a surgeon in Israel. Can I help you? And so like that guy, that's a horrible. I sound like Daniel Simonson, but like.
I got it.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And so he's like helping this guy, and me and my mom and sister are just like, I cannot believe the other three people at the table are just like,
They're
eating dinner.
still they're like, so
Yeah.
anyway, Cindy just got into that pre-K.
So then
Cindy's dad is passed out next to you. Why are you not reacting?
So then this guy goes, he's like finally gets back into his seat and he's like not eating. He's just like sitting there like
Just
kind
being
of-
like, I just fainted.
yeah. And then he starts to go again. I think he was probably having a stroke. It was like really intense.
Why is he still there? Take him to the hospital.
Yeah. Well, then at that point, the Israeli guy came back over and he was like, we have to call 911. So then they called 911. They didn't have to take him out in a stretcher. They were able to like walk him out, but like
Was
the
he-
EMTs were there. And then, so that was like story number one.
Was he at dinner with like Gypsy's mom or something?
He was at dinner with what appeared to be his wife and what also
She
appeared
wants
to be
him
like,
dead.
Yeah, like
that lady
another
does not give a
couple.
fuck about him.
she poisoned him.
Yeah.
If you were at Avra and you were the man who fainted, write in. Okay. 'Cause
Write in. Give us 5 stars and then write in and we'll have you on the pod to talk about why your family hates you.
But we were like, holy shit, no one's helping. This is crazy. So that was like scene number one.
Scene 1.
Scene number 2, at the table next to us, there was a like a family. It was like a daughter and her parents. And this daughter's not north of 15, probably like 14-year-old girl. She takes off her coat. She is wearing a bra. She like the outfit she was wearing to go eat dinner at this fancy restaurant on the Upper East Side with her parents was literally a bra.
Oh my God.
And we look over and she was like so happy to like take off her coat and like be sexy. It was like a little crop top, but like when I tell you it was like a bra, I mean it.
No, I know you mean
And-
it. Like I
So me and my mom just like look over and we're very close. We're like, 4 feet away from this table. We look over, we see this backless girl with just like the strap on the back. And we look back at each other and we start bursting out laughing. And we saw her parents be like looking at each other being like, exactly what we thought would happen is happening.
this is why you don't send your kids to NYU.
And
you know?
No, dude. She was 14. She
No.
still lived with them. She still lived with them.
No.
And so-
this is my fear about having kids in New York.
But like me, we were fucking
you have
dying.
to be straight faced at a dinner with them while
'Cause-
they're in lingerie.
Because we were like, dude, those parents have lost an argument. And they were so unfazed by the bra at the dinner table that they were probably just like, this is not the first time or the last
No.
time we have lost this argument.
Yeah, that is the look of defeat.
It was so funny. And then like all these people were like looking because they were just like, is that a child wearing a brassiere? Like, you know,
Also, at 14, you barely need a bra. She's
well-
wearing a training bra
well,
at dinner.
there was no support going on. And my
course.
sister was like, well, she doesn't have boobs.
There's no need to support anything. She's
We were like, it was a roller coaster. And then we got the bill and we were like, fuck off. This place is crazy. Oh my God. It was the craziest
sounds
dinner
exciting.
ever.
It sounds fun.
It was insane. Okay, so that's my tangent. But wow, those parents really lost a battle.
Yeah.
It was so fucking funny. It's also hilarious to me to think about the mom going into whatever fucking store she bought that and being like, okay. It's probably like a stepmom that's like, don't tell your real mom that I bought you this bra to wear to dinner.
I mean, what could she possibly have gotten into to be able to win with that argument? I feel like if I wore spaghetti straps at all on a normal ass shirt, my parents would be like, you're not going anywhere.
Oh,
You're a whore.
It's funny. My parents didn't really care that much. Like I had a belly button ring at 14 and like stuff like that.
Mhm.
But that
Wow.
was crazy. Oh yeah.
Belly button ring at 14 is...
Yeah.
I got
don't
one of
even
those...
think that's like legal. My mom
No, you
gave
need
permission.
parents sign off.
Yeah. My mom brought me there to get my belly button pierced.
I also had a belly button ring.
Yeah.
You don't wear one anymore, right?
No, I don't. I haven't seen one since like 2005.
No, I think they're gone. I
Yeah.
don't think they allow them
everyone
anymore.
just has that stupid little scar tissue.
The tiniest little belly
scar
button.
tissue.
When my normal belly button is covered up, it looks like I have an alien, tiny, cute little belly button right above it.
Could you imagine if I still had a belly? I'm gonna bring them back.
I'm gonna put one in there. I
I'm
don't
gonna
think
get-
I could take one anymore.
I know. Well, I have so much scar tissue. They
Yeah.
have to put it in like a different spot.
Really?
I mean, yeah.
I will
'Cause I
say-
scar really bad, famously. So like, I have like.
I will say that they really sold belly button rings as not painful,
they
and
hurt.
it hurt really bad.
Yeah.
Like
My
I
nose ring hurt
immediately
so much.
regretted it.
Yeah.
I was like, this feels like I got stabbed in the stomach because I essentially did.
Yeah.
I paid someone to put a knife through my belly
Totally.
to look kind of trashy. It wasn't a
Yeah.
great look.
Yeah, but I mean, you had to have it.
You
What, are
had to
not
have it.
gonna
I mean, I
have
did have it,
Yeah.
but also like it wasn't, the highest class I've ever looked.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that is kind of crazy. I guess my mom lost that argument too, where she was like, "Fuck it, we'll just get her this stupid belly." Who
I
cares?
think I had just turned of age. I think
Yeah.
when I got it.
My mom was always very cool about stuff like that, but like if I wanted a tattoo, she'd be like, "Fuck no," because I
Really?
can take out the belly button piercing. Is really no big deal.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
like my nose piercing, you don't even know I have one. Like,
Yeah.
but it's in there. But like you don't, And it's so funny. This hurts so bad.
I'm
to
sure.
Get put in. So like I have this ring that's like flipped up right now, and a part of me is like, why don't I just take it out? Like I'm probably not gonna wear a nose ring ever again. But I'm like, yeah, but it hurts so bad. I'm like, what if I want it someday?
Yeah, no, you got to keep that thing in there. Also, is it really messy?
What?
I got to ask my nose ring questions. I've never asked you my nose ring questions. Does it get covered in snot all the time?
Yeah, it does. So like
So you got to like rinse it off?
Yeah, in the shower, I'll flip it down and like do a little rinse, and then I flip it back up. Yeah, and whenever I have like a cold, it's like really a disaster because it gets
Ooh.
caught on this fucking ring that's flipped up in my nose.
Every day,
Anyway.
I have a leaky nose, so that would be it's not an option for me. I got to
Yeah.
stick to the belly button ring. I'm going to bring it back. All right, well anyway, we can go actually, wow, great segue into putting weird shit into your body. Elon Musk is on that train right now with his company Neuralink. If you're not familiar with Neuralink, it's the company which entrepreneur Elon Musk hopes will revolutionize brain-computer interfaces, BCIs. And they have little chips that you can put into your brain that will read your brain's nerves
What?
or
Wait,
something.
so
What are they called? The things that have the electricity on them.
Synapses
Sure.
or whatever? Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Point being, you'll be able to control things with your brain via this brain link.
Interesting.
Pretty crazy.
That is freaky. Is it sort of like having like a smart home, but like your brain is like
Yeah.
how do you mean control things?
Okay, so basically what the whole thing is supposed to do is it's a little chip that goes into your brain. It connects to, I gotta have the word for this here somewhere. It doesn't matter.
Whatever it is, I don't fucking
Connects
like
to
it.
your brain, and it's a implantable, cosmetically invisible, and designed to let you control a computer or mobile device anywhere you go. Basically, the electricity in your brain will stimulate this chip, which will then, via Bluetooth, like let you control whatever you're trying to control. So, the example that I saw was one that they had on a monkey. That's like one of the videos they have on the Neuralink website, where they put the chip on him. And previously they had trained this monkey with, without the chip, that if it connected a little cursor to a special like light colored dot on the screen, it would get a little bit of banana smoothie. Oh. It's really weird. Like the monkey's like holding onto this metal tube that's connected to this machine. And he's got this lever thing to move around the processor, whatever, like to move the little clicker over. And so he moves it over, gets a little banana smoothie, keeps doing that. So they train him to really know how to do this. Monkeys are good at that. It takes them a little while. Then they eventually put in the little chip onto that part of his brain that's going to be stimulated by this. Yeah. And unplug the machine so it's no longer being controlled by the lever. He's still using the lever because the monkey doesn't know, that it needs to do that to stimulate that part of its brain. Monkey. And I know, right? Yeah. But it works. So the little chip is noticing that there's electricity in the same positions as when it was trying to do the specific motion. Wow. So it does it anyway, and he gets a little smoothie. I mean, all via Bluetooth from this chip.
I say this all the time. Like when I'm trying to do something and like my computer's not doing the thing that I want, I'm like, I wish I could just be like, I want you to cut this clip from here to here, and I want this to be like the first, right? And for it to just do it. So like, if that's something that we can do in the future, that is, I'm like, for stand-up clips, it is totally worth it.
Yeah, this is definitely worth having us merge with AI. I think it's definitely it's just going to make it easier to post on social media and get some sweet engagement,
How fucking nuts, dude.
It's crazy. So this is like, obviously, goal number 1 is to allow people to control a computer cursor or keyboard using their thoughts alone. So that's step 1. It's a pretty straightforward situation. This product is called telepathy. So it's just meant to do the thinking using your phone or computer.
Wow.
The initial group that they're targeting for this is people who have lost their limbs or use of their limbs. So like paraplegics, amputees and things like that. It's really cool. Obviously, it's an amazing step forward in technology. Elon's quote on this is, enables control of your phone or computer and through them almost any device just by thinking. Initial users will be those who have lost use of their limbs. Very cool.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Imagine if Stephen Hawking could communicate faster than a speed typist or auctioneer. That is the goal.
So
interesting to bring Stephen Hawking into this right now when he's recently hit the news wires for going to Epstein's Island all the time.
I know, right? That's hilarious.
He could book a lot of flights to Epstein Island with the Neuralink.
You know what's so funny? I think I might have talked about this on the pod before, but Stephen Hawking, I did a book report on him when I was in like third grade. Yeah, something like that.
Third grade, damn.
Or whatever. I don't know. I was young. Sure. And I did a book report on him, and I remember like it stood out to me so much that this man in a fucking wheelchair had cheated on his wife.
I mean, seriously.
I was like, God damn. You can't they could literally be paraplegics and you can't fucking trust them.
You would think that of all people, a paraplegic you'd be able to at least keep an eye on.
I know.
Where's he going to go?
Yeah, I didn't wheel you.
How is he going to
I didn't wheel you to this woman's house. How'd you get there?
How did you get there? Wasn't it his other nurse?
Yes,
Crazy.
It was. What a whore.
He must have game. He must have Riz, as they call it, the youths call it.
He's got Riz. Stephen Hawking, that's what they say.
Does he even speak? Or isn't it like
it's like a, I am Stephen
How
Hawking.
Are you going to Riz someone with
You look beautiful.
The lady's like,
oh my God. No one's ever said that to me before. Yeah, but I remember being in like third grade being like, men.
He'd be unstoppable with this Neuralink thing. He'd be fucking everybody. He'd be a full rapper over here.
Guess
Stephen Hawking's alter ego would be unlocked.
I'm enjoying the fuck out of those TikToks that are like Stephen Hawking when he finds out that Epstein's going to the island or whatever, and he does like, and it's like people in wheelchairs doing like skateboarding tricks and shit.
I love
X Games. That's what I'm looking for.
So this is Elon talking about, get through this goddamn ad. So Elon in the original Neuralink presentation where he is talking about some of the uses for it.
It sounds pretty weird, but achieve a sort of symbiosis with artificial intelligence. But I think with a high bandwidth brain-machine interface, I think we can actually go along for the ride. And we can effectively have the option of merging with AI. I think this is extremely important.
Okay.
He wants us to merge with AI. Did we hear him say that, guys? This is going to give us the optionality to become one with ChatGPT and write in the most jarring sentence structures you've ever seen.
You know what's funny is that I keep telling myself, because I'm not that great with technology. My brain just doesn't work like that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not good at editing stuff. I don't know. Like, I'm sure if I sat down and really paid attention, I could figure it
You
out.
learn it, but yeah.
But it's just not my forte. It's not
Sure.
something I'm interested in. I'm not good at it. But I always like tell myself, I'm like, never be like an old person where like my dad will be like, how do I get there? And like give you directions. I'm like, Dad, Google Maps. What the fuck? Like,
Right.
literally just use the Google Maps in your phone. And so I'm like, I don't ever want to be an old person, but I'm like, what is the technology going to be that makes us feel like old people? It's getting crazy. Where like I'm going to be like, just by comparison, like a crunchy granola grandparent, because I'm gonna be like, I don't want to have a chip implanted in my brain that tells the fucking government what I'm thinking.
No, I mean, like I know we're kind of kidding about it, but at the same time, part of me is like, Jesus Christ, like, is this really where we're going with this?
I don't like
Maybe it's 20 years away, maybe it's 40 years away, but like, I'm trying to still fucking be here.
Yeah.
And how annoying will it be if we are 75, like hitting kind of our retirement stride, and all of a sudden they're trying to put chips in everybody's brains? You are never going to be able to re-enter the workforce at that point. We're going to compete with these cyborgs that are Gen whatever data or whatever whatever. We're at Gen Alpha. It's going to be
that's the problem. It's going to be like
round.
Like we think like the wealth gap is bad now. It's like if you don't have this chip for ethical reasons or whatever reason you don't have it, and everyone else does, you're competing with computers. You can't fucking
And what are you going to take that and then go to your executive assistant position and scheduling meetings for them?
No.
So much of how we work and how we are compensated and live is really at risk right now. Wow, this may be the deepest we've ever gone on this podcast. Do we have answers? Absolutely not. We're here to make it think.
Speculate.
We're here to speculate.
I just want to be like a natural woman.
Yeah. I'm going to go back to being...
I get my period now, too. I don't even have birth control. I'm pretty natural.
It is pretty natural. Living on the range. My mom wants to be a regenerative farmer. That was her recent thing. I went home for Christmas. My mom, I should talk about this more on the podcast. They always have like shenanigans that they get into. They went through a brief period where my parents became cattle farmers for like 2 years. They're not a cattle.
I love these phases that your parents.
Yeah, they're not cattle farmers. They my dad's an engineer. Like my mom she's a therapist. Like, you know, neither had experience in cattle raising, but they did it. Like they bought a fucking farm, middle of Texas, had 50-ish cows.
So what? That is
like
so many cows.
It was like an egregious amount of cows. And like for like 2 Thanksgivings, I went to this place and was just like, why are there so many cows? And then they hit the period where like they raised them successfully. They did a great job. I remember there was one real big tragedy where one jumped over a fence and broke his leg.
Oh.
So that's the reality of cattle raising, is like things happen, right?
Yeah.
But then the bulk of the herd had to eventually be taken to the butcher because that's what happens with cattle. And my mom had like 4 bottles of wine and was like, we can't do this anymore.
Oh my God.
A fair response.
Oh, that's so sad.
You're not, I know. But I mean, it's fine. Like, that's what happens. That's the circle of life. But like, if you're going to be a cattle farmer, them's the breaks.
But I mean, the cows could die naturally, you know? But then you can't sell the meat right? Because like death is in
You
the
can't.
meat or
Yeah.
something.
No. Oh, yeah. That's a great question. No, it's actually extremely complex.
Yeah, they
You
have to
can't-
be killed to eat the meat.
They have to be killed, obviously, to eat the meat.
you don't wanna,
If they die naturally, they're usually like the meat that we eat here in like you get from the grocery store or something like that is from cows that have been specifically bred and prepared for slaughter. Like they're not. It's very important that they don't have any adrenaline jumps right before they're killed,
Right.
because that actually gets into the meat.
And it makes the meat taste bad, right?
Yeah, it makes the meat taste bad, or it makes it very tough. I think it's great. I think it's really important to know where your food comes from and to see like that full circle of life. It does make me giggle though that my parents decided to like gung ho jump in the mix like earnestly, bought property, bought cows, like a lot of baby cows that they raised,
That's
like
great.
young cows to meat giving age. And then they did that. And then we had so much beef. And it was great. Let me tell you that. But then they were like, we got to we're done.
So I actually saw there's this girl I follow, Kristen Loyal, I think her name is. I met her like once or twice earlier on in my 20s, and she was friends with like a friend of mine, whatever. And now she has like a podcast on Dear Media and like all this stuff.
Oh, cool.
But she was talking about it on her Instagram, where she has 3 kids and a husband, and she was like, we bought a cow. She goes, we didn't like, it's not like in our backyard or anything, but like we like basically
fund it.
Yeah, like we fund this cow that lives on some farm, and we get like updates on the cow. We know what the cow is eating. We know what the date is that it's going to be killed. And then they have like all this, I mean, one cow can feed a family for
It's a
an
lot.
entire fucking year, basically.
It's so much meat.
And so, like, she's like, we like it that way because we get all the milk from this one cow. We get all, like, I guess, butter and all that stuff. And she was like, and then we're able to, like, eat the cow. And I'm like, wow, that's fascinating. Because she's like, I want to control where my family's meat comes from, but, like, it's not quite so simple if you're buying it from the grocery store.
I love that as a principle, but I will say I'm fairly certain she was participating in a scam. Because cows that go for meat do not do milk or butter or any of those things.
Oh,
those
maybe
are all,
not.
No,
maybe
but,
not.
But either way, it's one of those things where I'm pretty sure some farmer somewhere was like, yeah, just send the email updates.
Well,
no, send the fucking updates.
So I brought this up to Mark's parents, and Mark's parents were like, oh, yeah, we bought a cow once. So they did the same thing.
Okay,
like,
we gotta
back
look into this.
Yeah,
we gotta look into this.
We should sponsor a Risque Business cow. I mean, I think they're like wicked expensive.
What if that's the gift we give our listeners?
Oh
Like, you get a cow. You get a cow.
We should give the gift to our listeners that's like, we bought a star. Like, we bought you as the North Star. Maybe we could buy them. Oh my God, you know what would be a fun gift is I'm sure you've seen this, that you can name a cockroach after your ex.
Oh yeah, at the zoo.
At the zoo. Yeah, so
that's a fun one.
So far, Caleb and Greta and whoever else
wants to join in the fun.
Maybe we'll buy you guys.
We'll give you a gift that you can like.
We're not gonna physically give you a cockroach, but you understand.
No, maybe we'll mail. I don't know. Maybe we'll mail you one.
They're like, please no. We wanted a candle.
Yeah,
and
candle,
a face mask.
Maybe some wine.
Thank you.
We'll give you something that you like. I'm excited. Okay, so back to Neuralink. Though I feel like I could talk about cows and farms for a long time. That's probably its own episode. But back to Neuralink. So the link itself, what do they put into the brain? I was pretty curious about this whole thing. It's about the size of a quarter. It's kind of cute. Like, it's aesthetically pleasing. It looks like a little battery that you pull the thing out of. It's designed to be implanted in the skull. It has ultra thin wires that will then go directly into the brain from the skull.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No, please. Go on.
Apparently, it goes into the part of the brain that controls movement and tension. So like that's because I was also wondering. I was like, the brain it's big.
Yeah, right.
It's the size of a quarter.
And also,
where do you pick?
Isn't it like famously known that we only use 10% of our brains or something crazy like that? Yeah. Whatever.
I don't know. I'm not a brain scientist. Apparently, getting this kind of surgery, not a big deal. About the equivalent of a LASIK surgery.
What?
I feel like that's a marketing person. I feel like that's an account executive getting a little liberal with like the implementation requirements.
I would agree.
You know what I mean? They're like, yeah, it'll be like 3 hours for like 1 week to get this in place when it's secretly like an 8-month IT project. It's going to take down your company.
Also, I feel like we don't know enough about like brain tumors, brain like brain cancer. Like, I feel like I hear all the time because I sleep with my phone right next to my head, and I'll like fall asleep to Seinfeld or whatever, and then like on my phone streaming on Netflix, and people tell me all the time they're like, having Wi-Fi going like that
past your brain,
close through your brain, is so bad for you. Like, you're like inviting some bad stuff into your brain, and I'm like, oh, whatever. And I'm like, this is all Bluetooth. I mean, it's crazy, right? Like, we don't know enough about like brain cancer and shit like that, and like
I don't feel
we
like
don't know enough about like dementia and all that.
I think that you're definitely hitting on something that I think is going to come and bite us on a lot of different fronts later on, like the microplastics, the vaping, things like this. We have very little idea of how the human body actually works. I feel like we've recently made some strides, but there's so much more that we still don't really know. And this feels aggressive. The one thing that does make me feel a little bit better about this is it's not just Neuralink that is doing these kinds of tests. They're actually a little bit behind a lot of other companies that are already doing it. There's about 7 other companies that are doing a similar type of device. There are more than 40 brain-computer interface trials underway currently, according to clinicaltrials.gov. So it's not like they're the only ones, because I will say Elon Musk, I get that he's trying to do like daring shit and he gets the most publicity for it. Don't really fucking trust him to do this. You see X, you see how it's running right now? I know it's got some of the best content on the internet out there, but the interface is terrible. It's not working very well.
Yeah.
I don't want him creating some janky link to put in my brain for me to surf the web.
Well, also this is like V1. So I'm like, I'm going to wait until V20.
I don't want to ever do that. Oh, but I am so influenced by peer pressure.
Well,
you get some cute blonde 20-something to go on TikTok and say like, this is what my Neuralink let me buy last night or some bullshit. I'm buying it. I'm very influenced by influencer marketing.
I don't know. Yeah.
I know myself.
Yeah.
It might take me a couple years, but they'll get me.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
I would be very resistant for as long as I could resist.
It's going to take a long time. But I will say it's kind of cool. Like right now, of course, they're going, like the main people that they're trying to help with this are people who have like cervical spine injuries, lateral sclerosis. I don't know what that is, but I think it's another thing that's like makes you quadriplegic, ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease.
I mean, that's great.
So it's one of those things where these people are like, you know, maybe they're just interested in these more, you know, research, risky trials because it's going to help improve their quality of life. So I do hope that they're able to get some success.
If also, like, if I went blind tomorrow or whatever, if they would have some technology that's like, oh, not like we're going to turn on the part of your brain that can see. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
could that be something
they
that
actually do have technology that does, maybe not as sophisticated as exactly that, but they have those kinds of things now.
Yeah.
Where that, and then the other one that's similar to that would be, that's probably the more sophisticated version, is cochlear implants.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So that's actually where they put a little chip on the part of your brain that, or not part of your brain, I think it's the nerve endings.
So for your ears.
In your ear. Yeah. Because, so people who are deaf, the little hairs or like the little nerve endings are broken in whatever way.
Yeah.
So they're not able to get the sound wave stimulation.
See.
So then that doesn't go to the nerves. So if they take a little implant and have the nerves stimulated by this implant that's going to respond to sound waves, they can get at least some semblance of hearing. That's good enough for people to be able to speak to one another. It's. I mean, how many times have you seen like the baby videos where the baby starts able to being able to hear for the first time, and you're like, it's beautiful.
Oh, it's so nice.
You know what? Very controversial in the deaf community.
I bet. See, this is what I was going to say. This is where I become a huge hypocrite because I wear contacts. I, famously got my thyroid taken out. I'm obviously like pro science, pro advancements in health, blah, blah, blah. But I will say like and I'm not religious. That's like the weird thing. I'm not religious, but like if I went blind or if I went deaf or whatever it is, like a part of me would kind of be like, am I meant to learn some sort of lesson and like be happier and more grateful for other things in my life? Because like I feel like a lot of people that have like maybe the deaf community, maybe it's like controversial for this reason where like they might be sort of like, I don't know, they are who they are because of their disability. I mean, so it's kind of interesting, and it's definitely like something I could talk about forever. But it's you're definitely nailing it, at least in terms of. I disagree with you entirely. In terms of what I would do with my personal life. Okay. Personally, science me the fuck up, baby. That's what I'm saying. I'm a hypocrite. Like if I were going deaf, I'd be like, no, I'm not going deaf. No. But I will see.
Specifically the deaf community. So weirdly, University of Texas is in Austin, and it has a massive, massive deaf community there. It's pretty cool. They're very, proud, and they have like their.
Maybe there was like the deaf
hangouts and stuff like that.
There was like a deaf school reality show or something.
Probably. Yeah. So cochlear implants are extremely controversial to them because they take pride in this group of people that like communicates via signs, and they like have their hangouts and stuff like that. It's like a very like, this is who we are. It's almost like their own, I don't know. It's not racial, but like it feels kind of in that vein where it's like, this is a community that you are part of because of your like you don't want to opt out of your group, right? So they really don't like cochlear implants, and I kind of respect them for it. It's kind of cool, and they live very full, normal lives. Obviously, being in Austin, it's a city that has a lot of allowances, like they can get jobs and stuff like that. Yeah. And honestly, nowadays with communication, like technology, it's pretty easy to be deaf. I would say that's one of the easiest ones.
I would say it's much easier to
Well, it's not easy to be deaf. I'm not trying to say it's easy to be deaf, but I'm saying of the things to get around, it's one of the easier ones.
Yeah. I mean, this is like the famous question, would you rather be deaf or blind? I'd for sure rather be deaf than blind, I think.
Absolutely. Because they can walk around. Like, I remember you would say,
and I can know that I'm not having sex with anyone ugly.
A huge point. But there was one restaurant in specific that they must have had like monthly meetups at or something like that, because we would frequently go there for dinner, recruiting trips. It was called Hula Hut. It was on the lake. And you'd see this massive group of people, and it was dead quiet.
Yeah.
Because they're just signing to each other, and you're like, oh, cool. Like, the fucking deaf people are over there like having a little shindig.
That's so
having
funny.
the most respectful party you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Just signing away.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends took sign language in college.
Oh, interesting.
Because you had to take a language for graduation, and UT Athletics was like, it's the easiest one.
Oh, really?
So
I mean,
that's that.
So a lot of people are teaching their babies sign language, actually, because they can be like, I'm hungry, I'm doing this, I
think it's cool.
Yeah.
It's like
pooped, whatever the fuck.
Poop.
Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay. So,
I won't be getting the Neuralink anytime soon, but when everyone else has it and I have to compete in today's economy, I will. I guess I'll have to do it. I don't know.
Oh, totally agree.
Yeah.
We're already at an hour. Should I maybe save this next one for next time?
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
I think I can.
We'll be back next week. So next week we're going to start talking about Stanley Cups and lead in the Stanley Cups.
Yep.
But for now we have a Galentine's Day to go to. So
yeah, we gotta go. We gotta go party. We gotta go celebrate love with our besties, not our men. They're never around.
No, actually, Mark just got home from tour, and I'm like, well, I'm gone. He's like, okay.
It won't be too long.
He texted me. He was like, I miss you. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I never see you.
I'm busy. I'm booked and busy.
My God. So you're on this show, this Valentine's Day show with Matthew, actually. And me and Mark got asked to be on it. Mark was busy. And I texted them. I was like, hey, Mark's not available, but I can go. And I was like, honestly, it would actually be way more realistic if I was there without Mark.
A real relationship situation.
Yeah, this is actually what our relationship looks like. And they were like, thank you, but no. We wanted Mark. I was like, okay, well, fuck off.
First and foremost, rude. Second of all, come to the show. It should be fun. Matthew might be there. I'll be there, though. Let me tell you that.
Oh, yeah. So it's at the Comedy Shop at 10, right?
Yeah, on Valentine's Day. There's just check out Instagram.
Yeah. And if you want to see me and Mark, we are actually doing a show together.
Oh, cute.
It's somewhere in Greenpoint, I think. You'll see it on my Instagram, but I will be there. And then as part of the deal, he was like, if you want me to work on Valentine's Day, you have to also get me a reservation at this really hard place to get a reservation. So we did that.
Oh, fun.
So, yeah.
That's so cute. Wow, we're definitely not doing dinner for Matt Valentine's Day. So, wow, Matthew. But he is filming his special on February 10th if you want to come to that.
Yes, go see that. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm also, if anybody lives in Fairfield, Connecticut, I will be co-headlining with Maximilian Spinelli at Fairfield Comedy Club on the 10th.
A true friend of the pod right there.
Yeah.
That'll be a good time.
Yeah.
That'll be a party. Follow us online, guys, at Risque Business News on the platforms, at Laura Sogar for me.
At May_Plannert. I've been told I should lose the underscore, but you know what? I have it. So just deal with it. And let's see each other next week. And please leave us 5 stars. Send us proof of that. And then we will send you a gift. We don't know what it's going to be yet, but it's going to be pretty cool. Should we do gendered gifts or just the same gift?
I put gender as one of my questions on the forms.
Okay.
I don't know if it's going to matter, but just in case. I don't know.
Yeah, but
it's an optional question. Okay, it's an optional question.
Yeah.
You don't have to answer it if you don't want.
Yeah.
But
Traditionally,
it's on the form.
There's differences in what we like. Okay, great. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for listening.
Bye.
Bye.